Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Talk Raptors. I'm your host Ahtisham, my channel where you get reviews, analysis, predictions, and hot takes on all things Raptors as well as some NBA. So the Raptors had their fourth preseason game today, which was against Houston. I will be reviewing, analyzing, and giving my reaction to the overall way the Raptors performed in the game. But just like I do in every other video, before I get into it, something else for today is basically wishing anybody that does celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys enjoyed that turkey. Without a further ado, let's talk Raptors. So today's game against Houston was in Toronto. So let me just start off by saying, first of all, it was a freaking preseason game, but it didn't feel like it. The Raptor fans were out and about, man. There was loudness in that arena, and it's good to see that. I think there's a lot more excitement that is around the Raptors this year because we've been deprived for the past 2 freaking years. So it was good to see that, fans were cheering. There were a lot of plays that the fans actually could cheer on. I enjoyed watching that game because it felt like a normal season game. So the Raptors destroyed Houston. There was we started off by kind of just going through the flow of things, and then eventually we just flipped the switch. And respect to Houston, they're a young team. Their backcourt is going to be crazy. Kevin Porter and Jalen Green are going to be nuts, man. I think they are going to be scoring machines. But until they get to that point, it is what it is. And the Raptors just, took over and just started to destroy them. I think there wasn't even 1 point in the game after, the slow start that Houston led. We started off with 9-0. They got close. And then it was middle of the late first quarter, we just took off on them, and it was not close, and it ended with a 107-92 victory for the Raptors. And that's pretty much the picture. There was a lot of dunks that I'll get to. There was a lot of cool stuff that we did. So the first thing that I'm seeing consistently being done well for the Raptors is the defense. I am loving the defense. It seems like anybody that comes near our basket is coming into a Honeywell or bunch of just being surrounded by wolves. It's not easy to go in front of our defense. First of all, we're freaking tall, and we're actively moving. There's constant switching going on. There's deflections that are happening. There is a lot of turnovers that are being the Raptors are doing that are leading to transition buckets on the other side. There was this play where it was Freddie had it. He shoots it across to Scotty Barnes, and Scotty Barnes gets it to the net. Then there was this turnover where OG just cuts it off and then gets to the other side and slips actually. And Gary Trent picks it up, passes it to Freddie, and then Freddie passes it back to Gary Trent, who lays it up. And there was a lot of plays that were going very well for us because of our defense, because we were constantly deflecting the ball. And we did a better job at defending the three because Houston for the first half was 0 for 10 from the three-point line. So that shows you that the Raptors are getting out there and defending the three just as well as they are defending the basket, because they're not having open shots. Even if they are having open shots, it's usually when a guy comes to contest, jumps, and passes over. That's something that is that's a Nick Nurse bullshit. But again, they're still defending well enough that they make the person hurry up on their 3-point shot. So they're doing well on that. And one thing that tells you that the defense is doing really well is that Houston had to use their almost the whole clock every time in order to get a shot up, which shows you that they are not having open shots, that they're not getting what they want, and they have to use up more time to be able to get a shot that's close enough for them to be able to do something with it. On average, they were down to at 4 seconds left until they had to put up a shot, or constantly. In the second half, when our bench guys came in and stuff like that, deeper in our bench, that's when Houston got a little bit more free, and that's when they started to catch up, and that's why it's a 15-point lead. But we had a 21-22 point lead when our guys, the main guys, were playing at that time. So That tells you that the defense is doing really, really well. Um, offensively, offensively, sorry, uh, we are doing very well in regards to the ball movement. The passing is getting so nice to watch. It kind of reminds me of the Golden State era. It's not as good, but it's still really good. There was this Ken Burch football pass that down to, I think who was it? Dang, I forgot. Oh yeah, Delano Benton. And Delano gets an open dunk because Kemba deflected the ball, caught it, tosses it all across the court. Delano jams it down. Then there was the what was it? CY to Scotty, right? CY drives into the basket, shoots it at like to the mid-range area, and Scotty turns around and comes with a hook, and kind of gets a shot in there. So our offense, the ball movement is good. Our passing is getting really, really good because people know where each other are, and they're just driving straight into the basket and then shooting it out for people to do something with it. I feel like the Raptors are attacking the paint more. Svi is getting into the paint. Freddie is getting into the paint. OG is not just standing there trying to take a three, but he actually gets into the paint now, and then does something with it. Scotty had this crazy thing where he what do you call it? He kind of just elbowed somebody's and got to the rim on the first play. Then there's Precious, who has these crazy movements, and he's getting to the rim. This play was like the Raptors are doing very, very well in their offense because they are constantly attacking the paint, getting it out, or finishing. One thing I've noticed, the Raptors are doing actually very well in finishing near the bucket. Precious is just very good at close to the bucket. Delano Benton had some dunks today. There were some layups that Scotty got a few layups. OG is closing, getting to the bucket and finishing very well. So it shows that the offense is moving very well. And I think the ball movement is getting into the paint is helping us because it's creating more open shots. Defense has to collapse, then it opens other people up. But when they okay, this is getting to a problem that they keep throwing it out, they leave it open, and then our guys are big enough to kind of get to the rim, and they're actually finishing this time instead of just leaving it short or too strong or whatever. They're actually finishing their possessions. So that's what I've seen that has gone consistently well for the Raptors up until this point. The opposite side, basically what I've noticed, the negatives that I've noticed for the Raptors in these games. Number one, the whistle. What the hell, NBA? You already started your bull crap in the preseason by not giving us the fouls. There was this foul where Sivai is going to the basket. There's two guys that just nail him on so much contact, and there's no call. Whereas Kevin Porter Jr. goes to the other side, and Scotty Barnes does this to him, like, oh baby, and it's a freaking foul. Like, come on, man, you guys need to start being consistent. You're already starting your whole bullshit again of giving us the calls that we need to get and doing tick-attack of fouls on the other side. We had 29 fouls. You think our defense is the type of defense that does that many fouls? No way. No way. So that's one bad thing I am noticing. And the Raptors fan, that's not our team. That's just the bullshit we face being a Canadian team. The things that the Raptors, I've seen noticed that there's a lot of breakdown because in schemes whenever bench players are playing together. I guess because they're not having enough time to play together. So I think Nick Nurse needs to do a better job in letting people get more time together. And offensively, 3-point shots, we had a couple of open ones we didn't nail. We went 14 for 42, I believe it is. Freddie had one, Siva had one, OG had, Gary Trent had a couple of them. So I think those, when you're getting into the paint and you're getting those open shots need to be made because that's what breaks the game open for your team. So that's one thing I've seen consistently, that the Raptors are struggling with making the open shot. They'll make the difficult ones, but the completely open ones, they're struggling with them. So without going too much into things about preseason and the things we can improve on, let me get to the actual players that really are freaking impressing in this preseason, and I think are going to be great going forward. Number one, Precious Achua, man, this kid is going to be a problem if he plays the five or for any of the fives in this league. Why? Because his speed is so good, his handles are so good, his finishing ability is really good. He has the Euro step. He went like twice around. I forgot Sanguine or whatever. Kevin, is it Christian Wood? Yeah, Christian Wood around them and finished with both the right or the left, and he's getting up and down the court. So that tells you big centers like Nurkic, Embiid, these guys are going to have to work on being quick if they want to deal with Precious. So Precious is good. He even walked into a freaking three-pointer, man, which looked good, and then he tried another one. He got benched, but that's not the point. He shows good. He shows a good. He seems like a good player. Siva is a steal, honestly, for the price that we got him. And a guy gets into the paint, he's assisting, he's nailing his three-point shot, high energy, doing everything that he possibly can. He had this sick pass where, he got it to Scotty Barnes, and then Scotty Barnes dunks it. And then on the other side, Scotty gets it to him, and he dunks it. So they have like a good chemistry going on. Siva looked really good. Gary Trent is improving. I think Gary Trent's mid-range has always been butter, and it still is butter. His three-point is looking good, but he has more energy. His defense looks damn better. He's deflecting the ball. He's getting into people. He's doing everything that he can possibly do to impress Nick Nurse to get it to the starting lineup. And I think him starting today, he had more energy. He wasn't just jacking up shots. Because he knows he has to be more responsible when he's in the starting lineup, and that's the thing Nick Nurse needs to do. He needs to stop with these bullshit tiny ass backcourt with Goran Dragic, Freddie VanVleet, or as it was Kyle Lowry, Freddie. Those days are gone. You're playing tall, so play Gary, man. Then we get on to Kem Burge. Kem coming back from COVID. I know how that feels, but man, he looked good. He looked like he had a little bit of fatigue, but he was running up and down. He was assisting the ball. He wasn't as aggressive and getting to the basket or all of those post moves, but he got people involved. He was defending well. He did have some early fouls, but again, that's expected. He's just coming back. It's his first preseason game, but he still looks like the Kem Burge we were used to, and he's just going to constantly improve as he gets to play, just like all the other guys are doing, right? And the guy Scotty Barnes has all the makings of a superstar because he has good court vision, man. He can pass, like he did this no look pass, and it was a bucket for Benton, and then he did another no look pass, and it was a bucket for Siva. So it tells you he has that court vision, and he's going to be good. So that's one thing I'm noticing about Scotty Barnes. And his offense, he's just not as aggressive as he should be because he knows his place right now. It's just to get used to the NBA. I think it can improve just like OG, and I think he's going to do well. And lastly, guys, freaking OG. OG is looking good, man. He is doing side steps, three-pointers. He's getting to the bucket. He did this, he put Sanguine in his place. He elbowed him and then just dunked over him while he was on the floor, man. OG is becoming the dog. And I think we'll be in just as a good place when Pascal comes through. But I think OG needs to be considered the guy. He has that ice in his veins. He's shooting threes at the late shot clocks. He's getting to the bucket. He's dunking the ball. He's doing mid-range, crossovers and then step backs and, 2 points, everything. OG is doing damn good, and he's even same amount of monster he is on the defensive end because he's still deflecting the ball. He's still getting breakout points because of it, and he's getting down and dirty, diving after the ball, everything. So OG is looking like better than I would say Kawhi, because Kawhi is a baby. He has a little nick and bruise, and he's gonna sit on his ass. OG is an original G. All right. So guys, that's what I have for you guys for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Leave your comments in the comment section. I will respond to them. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys tomorrow because we have a back-to-back. So I'll see you guys. All right. Keep talking them Raptors.